Backward Design and Bloom's Taxonomy. I'm Jenny Scudder. Backward design. Designed by Wiggins and McTighe, backward design is the common term for understanding by design, in which 7 main tenets are followed, including teaching and assessing for understanding and learning transfer, and designing curriculum backward from those goals. It looks at teachers as coaches, not givers of knowledge and skills, and textbooks as resources instead of the curriculum. It uses a 3-stage design process: desired results, evidence, and learning plan. Desired results. Through examining the desired understandings, as well as the required standards, the students' transfer of knowledge within a discipline are identified by asking essential questions. It is important in this first stage for teachers to make choices about the priorities that need to be included for transfer of knowledge. In the video with Wiggins, he shared a story illustrating the importance of identifying the desired results. He shared about a prep school that had top students with top grades. The school contracted with ETS and had pre- and post-assessments created to measure the growth in critical and creative thinking. The results? No change. They started with smart students and ended with smart students, but they were not engaging the students in a way that provided a transfer of learning and an increase in the goals for critical and creative thinking. This illustrates the importance of asking the essential questions to discover how to create opportunities for understanding. Evidence. In Stage 2, teachers need to determine when to use the 2 types of assessment for evidence: performance tasks and other evidence. Performance tasks fall into 6 categories: explain, interpret, apply, perspective, empathy, and self-knowledge. All 6 do not have to be used in every lesson. It should fit the understanding and desired transfer of learning. Additionally, performance tasks that combine more than one facet should be used for a culminating activity. Another example from the video, Wiggins met with a teacher that was planning to teach U.S. history, specifically the Constitution and 3 branches of government. His goals were originally designed from the textbook, since he didn't look at the textbook as a resource, but rather as the curriculum. He needed to look at what could be skipped, highlighted, skimmed, or resequenced. Upon talking with Wiggins, he realized he didn't have to teach it from the past to the present. By reversing the sequence, he would be able to gain evidence of the students inferring and developing critical thinking through using the Constitution as a solution and examining the compromises made over time throughout U.S. history. Learning plan. In this stage, teachers determine the activities that will best support the different types of goals: meaning, transfer, and acquisition. By designing the lesson for understanding, it will include different ways for students to draw inferences and make their own generalizations to use for making connections. The teacher becomes a facilitator or coach and supports the students as they make connections through application. Wiggins shared a story about a lesson plan that started by asking about what is fair. It was a mathematics lesson, but framed in a larger real-world application. Within the overall unit, there were different types of activities, such as reflection, discussion, questioning, and a quiz about the actual math involved in determining who was the fair winner of the race. By examining what transfer of learning was needed, the lesson was varied, and in turn, The presentation was differentiated and engaged all students, from the ones who were confident in math to the ones who didn't realize it was math until the math was needed. Bloom's taxonomy, a 6-category framework for educational goals. In 1956, Benjamin Bloom, Max Engelhardt, Edward First, Walter Hill, and David Krathwohl developed what is commonly known as Bloom's taxonomy. It was revised in 2001, and verbs were added as action words to better describe the cognitive processes used during learning. The framework assists teachers in designing concrete educational goals. Bloom's taxonomy and the added verbs. The original version of Bloom's taxonomy is on the left. Starting with knowledge, it moves to comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis, and evaluation. In the 2001 revision, knowledge became remember and comprehension became understand. You will note that synthesis and evaluation switched places within the hierarchy, and synthesis became create. With the added verbs, there are action words for teachers to use in their learning objectives. For example, remember could use a word like recognizing or recalling. For understand, teachers can use explaining, summarizing, or interpreting. For the third level, apply, executing, or implementing. The fourth level, analyze, action words such as differentiating and organizing. The fifth level, evaluate, you could use words such as checking or critiquing. And the sixth level, create, action words such as generating, planning, and producing can be used. Initially, I was hesitant to switch to the new 2001 revised order. However, I did come to agree that one has to evaluate something in order to create something new. As mentioned, the taxonomy is a hierarchy. Students need to start at the bottom and build up to each level. Scaffolding through facilitation assists students in reaching each new level. The taxonomy, starting at the bottom, deals with concrete ways of thinking. As you move up the ladder, students start to reach abstract levels of thinking. Why use Bloom's taxonomy? As stated in the Bloom's video, teachers use Bloom's to help students develop critical thinking in alignment with lesson objectives. It helps to develop learning objectives, organize them in a way that scaffolds learning and adds clarity for students, and provide instruction that aligns with the objectives and assessment. How would I use backward design and Bloom's taxonomy when teaching critical reading strategies? Both backward design and Bloom's taxonomy will assist as frameworks for designing a cumulative project for a freshman level college reading course. Students place into the course based on testing. As all of the students will come from different backgrounds, backward design and Bloom's taxonomy will ensure that there are a wide variety of activities to meet all of the students' learning needs. The course I teach is a freshman level course to assist students in developing their critical reading skills to help them read at the level necessary for being successful in college. The backward design framework will help engage all students as they will be entering the class at varying levels of preparedness. It will offer opportunities for individual application of the critical and creative skills included in the objectives. The final project, while having some restrictions on it, will allow students to select their own topic as an example of individual application, and that way they will be more engaged in demonstrating the critical and creative skills. Bloom's taxonomy will assist students in identifying the different levels of critical thinking needed for college-level work and assist in developing their metacognitive strategies. The action words or verbs put into Bloom's taxonomy during the revision will assist students in naming the type of thinking they are using to reach the desired end result.